Hello and welcome back to the Will I Vike It podcast. Today I'm at Ribe in Denmark. My guest is Sarah Moores.
Hi.
From Viking Klan Zebitz.
Yes.
And we are making...
Royal horse broth, a recipe from Daniel Sierra, who you talked to recently.
I did,
his
yeah.
book, An Early Meal. So it's a really nice, rich, flavourful horse recipe. It's good for beginners.
It's not something that we get in England, so it was by sort of semi-request. I think you'd mentioned it at one point.
Yeah, because it's a lot of people, horse or goat are some of the more unusual meats that we work with. But people are most interested in joining us when we have those on the recipe. So, on the menu, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to try and get some in England, I think.
Yeah.
Well, if I like it, we'll see.
I'm sure you'll like
Or
it.
Vike it. Do I Vike it?
Yeah, the test is for you today, not me.
Yeah. Could all go wrong. So we should probably start off by explaining to anyone that doesn't know what Viking Klan Zebitz is or does.
Well, we're a family, mainly with added on tag-alongs that we've adopted into our family, which is why we chose the name Clan instead of family.
Yeah. So where did it start?
It started with Christian's dad. He was doing archery and got a bit bored of archery and moved into Viking archery. So with his wife, and then they took Christian's kids along as well, because grandparents and kids activity. So, and then one summer, about 9 years ago now, we got a phone call saying, we need some extra bodies. If we make you clothes, will you come and help? It's only for one day. And then here we are. Yeah. So.
And you do, I think you have quite a focus on food now, like.
We do a lot of cooking. That was the interest that we had when we started off, because we've been scouts growing up and love cooking on wood fires and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of progressed more into living as a Viking. So we know lots of little bits of trades, but we don't have a main focus. It's all the skills you'd need as a Viking family to survive. And then we do a crazy winter experiment. So, where we come here in February for a week, because so many people ask what's it like to live in a Viking house in the winter. So we decided to try it and find out. And we've been doing it for 5 years now. So it's cold. It's cold because the houses are empty from October, November until we come in the February.
Yeah.
So this year we managed to borrow a big diesel fan heater to heat the house up first. And
is that authentic?
No, but it's not authentic, a house being empty for 4 months in the winter either. So that was the balance. And we actually got up to 22 degrees inside. It wasn't that cold this year, though. It was about 7 or 8 outside in the day.
It was a mild winter where we were as well.
It was, but we've had it minus 16 and snowing outside, and that was from a cold start. And that night, I think we got it up to 9 degrees. Yeah. So although 9 is still quite cold, the temperature difference,
that's a big difference.
It's a big difference. So the houses work really well if you know how to use them.
Yeah.
And don't leave them empty for 4 months.
I should probably quickly mention, because I didn't, so this is Christian in the background as well. Another one of the Zebitz crew.
Yeah. Our kitchen skivvy.
Just in case it comes up later and you come in on the conversation.
Like, who's that strange person hanging around in the background?
So I've done all your leeks.
Good, thank you.
You've done cheese.
I've done cheese
and
the horse and the fennel, and this is the root vegetables to go with it, so we'll take them away because we don't want them in the pot yet.
Okay.
So they're going separately. So, yes. Are you nearly ready? Is the fire ready? Yeah. Okay. Because we need to fry the leeks first. Are they? Yes, butter's okay, isn't it? So I can fry them in butter. Yeah. Yes. Just needed to double check.
For those watching, Anna's got a dairy allergy. Some of you probably already know. So we're trying not to poison her today.
Yes. No.
Even though she's from the church.
It's in the washing up bowl.
Yeah. It's almost like we've raided from England and we've got Christian nun. Where are you from? Lindisfarne, you say?
We need to keep some of the horse separate as well, don't we?
Yep.
Right.
So we're going to cook 2 pots.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll have 3 actually, because we need to put the root vegetables in a separate pot to cook.
Okay.
So this is why last night I said just bring all the iron. So we're a very wealthy Viking family with all this iron available.
So, yeah, we're in the outdoor kitchen at the moment, outside the Longhouse at Ribe. And Christian's going to tell us a little bit about how Ribe actually got started originally.
Yep. It's started by 2 school teachers 29 years ago. They were working at a local school closer to the ocean in that direction. Nobody can see that, but and they were having classes for skill kids that were practical skill, but not so much into schoolwork.
Yeah.
And then they had an idea about doing something more with the history of the country. So they started buying the farm over here. We got the commune, or the council, in over that, and started developing the idea here. And the Longhouse was actually the first building that was built about 26 years ago.
And that's still the original building?
It's not quite.
No.
There has been alterations done because it's built without any modern preservations.
Yeah.
No oil, no tar, no nothing. Okay. So it's straight on the ground, straight in the ground. So unfortunately it rots.
Yeah.
But it's still going strong. So.
Yeah, it's a lovely building.
Yes.
So then from there they've gradually extended the site.
Everything has just slowly evolved from there on, and more houses come too. And the latest addition is Ring Fortress, because the neighbor, the husband of the neighbors, didn't like this idea, didn't like the things here, but the wife was very keen on it. So when she had to move, she sold it to here.
Right.
That's why the centre is so big today.
Okay.
And then funding from different bigger companies and stuff for building stuff. Yeah. So it's just a slowly evolving process.
Yeah. And so it's open pretty much just throughout the summer months, I think you said, didn't you?
The big spring market starts around the 1st of May.
Yeah.
And we close up in October in what we call the autumn holiday from our schools here. And then the centre is closed the whole winter for maintenance and repairs.
So what's next? We've got some horse going in.
Yeah.
Have you taken some out?
No.
Or is it with this?
No, that's all right together. It's when we put the cheese.
So that's got to come
in.
out before the cheese goes
All right.
in.
All right.
Yeah. So how long has Viking Klan Zebitz been working at Ribe?
How long officially the clan we have been working for, if you could call it like that, for 4 years? We've been helping around, supporting.
No, it was at the beginning of COVID when was
19,
yeah,
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
That's when we really started getting more heavily involved.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were coming here before that. Sorry.
So,
But your dad's worked here for the whole time we've been coming here.
Yeah.
he works 3 days a week down at the archery ring. So,
Yeah.
but yes, basically with our winter experiment, when that started, we started getting more involved and giving hands here.
Doing
So,
maintenance projects and other things.
Yeah.
maintenance, volunteering, and just helping whenever we are here.
Cooking for volunteers.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always important to feed them.
Yeah.
Well, good food and a good night's sleep helps a lot.
Certainly does.
Yeah. Although these days we're usually too busy actually doing the maintenance work to cook anymore, which is a bit sad. It's a trade-off. So
Yeah.
we have a reputation for being good at making calls in Viking houses now, so that was learning by doing.
You're supposed to do the first one badly so they don't ask you again, right?
But if we did the first one badly, we wouldn't have been allowed to grow the house in the
Ah,
winter.
okay.
You see.
Yeah.
So it was
It's a compromise.
Go downstairs. Sorry. Thank you.
That's one of the things about recreating Viking Age food, though, is like the ingredients we
Yeah.
have are not the ingredients that they had.
Exactly. The great orange carrot debate.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's other things like beetroot probably was for the green and not the bulb itself.
Yes.
And you know,
And
it's
I'm
all
not
changed.
actually, and there's differences between what you could get in Britain and what you could get here as well, because we
Yeah.
can't use lentils. And I'm not 100% sure about beetroot either. So, not for here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not
I know
quite.
definitely for us.
Yeah,
But there's stuff like rosemary that we can use.
yeah, and we can't, but
'Cause
we
the
have.
Romans bought it.
Yeah, and it's honey as well. Honey was very sacred because it was wild honey. That was all they had here. So you saved it for the mead making, whereas the Romans taught you guys how to have beehives and things. So.
Said it before, we'll say it again. What did the Romans ever do?
Straight roads, sanitation,
My step in the
beehives.
van, I should have had it out.
Yeah, you should have
That
done.
would be a spectacle.
It would. We'd be like, what are you doing? Are you going fishing? Head first into the fishing lake. Yeah,
How did you end up in Denmark? 'Cause I'm sure people have worked out by now.
that I'm
You don't
not
have a thick
Danish.
Danish accent.
No. I decided to go travelling, and as I've already said, I was a scout, so I was volunteering at scout centres around Europe, and ended up stuck in Denmark for 3 years. And then stuck, because people kept going, please come and work at our centre.
Okay.
No, come and work at ours.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then I went, right, enough. Now I need to travel. And I went all the way to Australia
Oh,
and travelled around there. And then when I got back, the scout centre I worked at heard I was back and called me and said, we need you. Will you come back and be a full-time employee? And then I met him while I was here. And
yeah.
then the money ran out, as it did around the 2010, 11. It was a little bit tight, finances around here, so I decided to stay. So
And then, so you were both pulled into the Viking stuff at the same time, you said before,
it was
didn't
through
you?
his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you were a scout leader previously, because you find that a lot with Vikings, where we are. In fact.
Yeah.
Even our group leader is involved with the scouts and other people as well that we know. That there seems to be a lot of crossover.
It is. It's that way of life and back to basics and not having electricity and running water, and that's really similar. Only we just wear different clothes doing it.
Yeah.
So
Better clothes.
maybe. No.
Not dissing scouts, but I'd rather wear this.
I don't know. Gore-Tex jackets and rainy days like this might be.
Yeah, I guess.
They dry a bit quicker,
Yeah.
and they're a lot less heavy.
But yeah, so we've spoken a bit about Ribe being built or rebuilt as it is now.
Yeah.
So do you know much about it from the Viking era as a settlement?
This area where the centre is don't have any archaeological finds.
None at all.
None at all out here. But
Yeah.
this location where we are now, with the longhouse, the outdoor kitchen, and the whole farm, it is found about 8 kilometers south of here,
Yeah.
in a small town called Ribe Viking, but all the way out at the water.
Yeah.
So that's an archaeological find,
Yeah.
compared with all the housing that goes to it. Up in what we call the town, there are the White House, the Ribehus, where we normally stay.
Yeah.
Is an archaeological find that comes from downtown Ribe and has the same distance from the marketplace as it has here at the center.
Yeah.
Just about. It was sitting right on the outskirts of the marketplace.
Yeah.
And there is a stream or river. I'm not quite sure how big
stream.
it is.
A stream.
Goes through town. And the other cluster of houses, the Ting house, the guest house, the wood shop, and the little red shoemaker house, as we call it, they were all found on the banks of that one. And all for Ribe's town up there is from around 825.
Yeah.
And the farm here is from around 980.
Yeah. So nothing was actually found on this plot of land, which is why it was okay to build here.
Yeah,
but
no, that makes perfect sense.
it's all
Yeah.
from different areas
Yeah.
around the town of Ribe, because it's the oldest town in Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I say, but to ancient farm, a lot of the Saxon finds are from just down the road at the next farm.
Yeah, yeah. See, at
It's really hard
Heitebo,
to find farmland you can actually build anything on.
yeah, exactly. They
Yeah,
have that
especially
trouble at
that area.
Heitebo because there's so much in the ground still.
Yeah.
That,
just
so they're
can't-
not
can't
allowed to
build on
dig
it.
for fires or for anything in the ground there in case they disturb something,
Yeah.
which makes
Yeah.
it difficult. But they wanted to build it at the site, so that's an advantage of Ribe not being on anything historical, that we can
Just
dig
do
a pit
anything.
and make
Yeah,
birch
you
bark
can do
tar or
anything.
fire pots. We don't have to worry about damaging anything.
Yeah.
So, but all the different places around the centre, as Christian said, are from finds around the town of Ribe.
Yeah. Spanning quite a few hundred years though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Among others, the church is thought to be from Bishop Ansgar, and he comes up from south of Hamburg, maybe a little bit more south.
Yeah.
Comes up here, but they haven't found any evidence from it because they think it's located under the Dome Church in Ribe today,
Yeah, the cathedral.
the cathedral.
Yeah.
So they can't go in and okay, we'll just move this a little, and then we can dig around.
Can we dig under your cathedral,
Which they often do,
please?
don't they? They build on the same ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Sacred ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But that's what they think, that there is evidence, but it is buried under the cathedral.
Yeah.
So.
and the style of it is from other churches of a similar age.
Mm.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Shall I just make for everybody? Or
I'm gonna have some more.
you're going to have some more? Do you want, you've got some butter on this time. Is that better?
Even better.
We might have to do half rations for tea. Maybe I didn't make enough bread after all that. Do you want to do your own, or should I just play mum?
You play, Mum.
And ladies
You're
first.
there now.
Oh, that was a lot of butter.
Viking butter.
Ah, it's not today, I'm afraid. Our Viking butter maker's back at school today. Not too bad. No. They were cooked very nicely. Thank you.
Done it a few times. Yeah. So we're cooking horse today,
Yes.
which, as we said before, is not something that we get in England. And I can't remember now if it was on camera or not, but I was saying that it's possibly even forbidden for Saxons.
Yes.
So I'm being a naughty Saxon today.
Very naughty.
But so a horse would it have been a common meat for Vikings?
I don't think it would have been common because horses were important and they were special.
Yeah.
And they were often buried with important people. And we have the remains of a horse here at the sacrificial place in honour of the gods. So it was a very important animal to them. So, but then people say, if you make a sacrifice of a horse, how is it okay to eat it?
Yeah.
And then the thing about the Scandinavian, the Nordic religions in that way is that it's not a sacrifice unless it's something that you would have had yourself.
Okay.
So by eating the horse, but then giving a part of it to the gods, that means that you can't eat that bit. And that's where the sacrifice comes in, rather than you sacrificing the whole animal and wasting it.
So if you were sacrificing an animal for someone that had died, you would eat some of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. As we are now.
that's how that's how it's understood at the moment.
As with all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
So
never say for certain. but-
the Asatru religion, which is the modern version of the Vikings religion, that's the belief that they write about and how they explain it in their
Yeah.
histories.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But presumably, because I can't remember from Daniel's book, but this is called a
Royal horse broth, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't an everyday food.
Yeah.
It was still a special thing. So,
A lot like it is today, funnily enough.
yeah, exactly. Special occasions.
Yeah. When you've got Saxons for tea,
Yeah.
cook up a horse.
They're like, we believe that the Pope's banned you from eating this, so please come and eat this.
And then dob us in later.
Well, we're within sight of the church, so I'm sure we could arrange something.
And we've got our own nun sat in the corner
Yeah.
there too.
Camera shy none. So, I think we need to put the cheese in this
Gonna say,
now.
she's going to eat none of this.
Oh, boo!
We are recording this time, just so you know. So if you don't want to be on the podcast.
So then you have to come and join us if you're having mead.
Yeah, you need to join them.
Join us on the dark side.
Join us.
Come and join us.
Are you going to stay there, or do you want to go
No,
that
you have
way?
to.
What
You
are
have
gonna
to
do?
come and join us. Join us. Yay!
Yes.
moving up?
No, sit in the middle.
Are you right
Sit in the
there?
middle. Sit in the middle,
Yeah.
because then you'll be picked up audibly. Oh,
Okay.
just till we finish. Quiet, Zips.
Quiet.
I don't know. Haven't even had any meat yet. All right, so we've skipped ahead several hours, I guess, probably by now.
Yeah.
So we got quite hungry and we actually ate the horse.
Yeah,
It was very nice.
that's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was good food. So we're going to drink some mead, which I picked up from the Ribe Centre, which I can't remember. When did you say? What anniversary was it from?
1300 years anniversary for the town of Ribe.
There we go. And there's a wasp going up my tunic.
They're very friendly, the wasps here.
Yeah, they are very
You
friendly.
have
They're not like the aggressive English ones.
bad-tempered wasps.
Well, in case anyone needs to know, this is Emma. She doesn't normally appear on camera.
No, we persuaded her.
Yeah,
Bullied you.
first
Sorry.
first appearance on the podcast.
They get me out of it, so it's all right.
Well, you can. So we can do the questions that I ask every guest at the end to round off the podcast.
Can we say cheers and try our lovely meat?
Cheers, Skål.
Cheers,
Yeah.
go on.
Go on, clinks, clinks,
Oh,
clinks,
clink,
clinks.
clink,
Come on.
clink, clink.
We can't clink with you with cover on.
You've got a kink cover.
It's a jumper to keep my cup
Yeah.
warm. That's nice.
It is very nice.
Wasp want some? Are you going to answer the questions too? You may as well. You're here. We've got a bonus guest today.
Yeah.
I should say it's not me that stops Emma from coming on camera. It's personal choice. It might seem like it.
You get
Yeah, so the first question is, if you had an unlimited budget, what would be your dream project? We can start your end if you like.
To live here in a house for 1.5 to 2 years, to actually do 12 months of consistency in self-sufficient, like they would have done at that time.
Yeah. To see what it's like year round. Because we come in the winter as well, but because there's that break from the autumn, it's... Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
nice to go all the way through and see how it is. So if anyone wants to pay our mortgage, so we can come
12
and live
months.
here for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'd need a community though, wouldn't you? Because you couldn't do it solo, I don't think.
I am sure we wouldn't have problems roping people in to take
People
over
would
for
gladly
some time.
help and support and say,
Worth of
Yeah.
people that would be up
Yeah.
for it, definitely.
that.
Yeah.
But it's the
Yeah.
funding that's the biggest issue. Everything else is not that big an issue. Getting help
No.
and support and knowledge about how
Yeah.
we would do it. It's not the issue, it's the funding about it. So the rest can easily be done.
I'm gathering from your response you got the same answer.
Yeah. I feel slightly
Yeah.
mad saying it, but yes.
Yeah.
It would be good. That would be the icing on the cake of everything that we've worked at
Yeah.
so far. Yeah.
Let's make it happen, guys.
Someone set up a crowdfund.
Yeah.
Are you going to answer too, as you're here?
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer for that one.
Nothing at all. Okay. All right, so the next question is, do you think you could survive on a Viking Age diet?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we know. We know for a fact. That's what we
Yeah.
do when we're here.
Yeah.
Try to do it as authentic as possible with the materials they have had, or something that has been evolved from what they have.
Yeah. We compromise a little bit for modern taste, so we're not having the same thing day in, day out and things like that. We do change it round and
Cook more high status, I would say.
fancy food.
Fancy food.
Yeah.
Because you have to feed people's souls. You can torment them with a lot of things, bad weather, hard work, but you've got to keep people fed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I think we could, no problem.
That's not a problem. No.
Yeah.
Is there any food? Oh, actually, we didn't ask you, did we? Go on. Could you survive a Viking Age diet?
Yeah, I could survive. I do like stew.
Yeah.
I can't eat dairy, so I'm probably lacking in nutrients
Mm.
to a certain extent. And I don't know, it's not being able to just go to the shop. I
Chinese.
think every now and then I'd have a craving for egg fried rice. Definitely.
Oh, see, and that ties into the next question now. Is there any food you'd miss on a Viking Age diet?
That's what I'd need. I could do it if someone could just bring me some egg fried rice like once a month. I could do it.
So you're not joining their project?
No. I'll do it if I can get some egg fried rice at the gate every now and then.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I don't think I could do
At
it.
first I thought it would be like tea, coffee, those sorts of things, and then I was like, no, actually salt.
Yeah.
We a few summers ago it was really hot, 30+ degrees, and we were having to take in salt and just having those salt crackers, you know, for cheese and things, and it was just like salt.
Sometimes you do just really.
Yeah, so I think we could manage
Yeah.
with other hot warm drinks and things like that. Eventually get used to it, but the salt, yeah.
Is that the same answer, or have you got?
Yeah,
another?
I would say salt is a big issue because
Yeah.
I'm brought up with a lot of salt in the food. But I actually think once in a while chocolate
Yeah.
would be a craving. But
Yeah.
but yeah, salt in everyday life, that's a hard thing when we go here and stay and
Yeah.
eat authentic.
I don't think that's come up before.
No.
It's often you
Chocolate,
chocolate, coffee stuff. I was
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
that salt.
And those were my
Salt,
original
yeah,
thoughts
salt's
as
a
well,
good one.
but
Yeah.
because salt's such a big part of the Danish diet, they put salt in everything.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of earache when I'm guarding the salt pot. No salt. So
Yeah. All right, so you're only the second episode I've done this question.
Oh,
So it depends if people like it. It might not stick. But
no pressure.
what's the weirdest thing in your kitchen?
My stick.
Straight to it.
My stick. Yes, indeed.
Should we just no explanation, just a stick?
It's just a stick, yeah. Because it can do everything. It can carry the pot when it's hot. It can smash up nuts when
Yeah.
we need it. Mashed the vegetables that we had for dinner. You can use it as a rolling pin, though we don't have much evidence for rolled baked goods and things like that. But I use it for everything. Naughty people trying to steal stuff out of my kitchen. It's the ultimate multi-tool, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, my stick. And you're throwing things at me.
Sorry.
It's the wasps.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're under attack.
They really want
Get your own episode.
the shop's right there.
And yourself?
I don't quite think I have something weird and peculiar.
No.
We have designated stuff. I have a clay pot only for cheese, and a fireproof jug only for making hot saft in the winter. So, but that's probably what people kind of also think. Do you actually have that? Yeah, we do actually.
Yeah.
For making sure people are warm and welfare and stuff. It's things that helps in everyday life as a modern Viking.
Yeah.
Your turn.
It's going to be something I've made now, isn't it? Come on. I just realised.
There's a lot of like weird stuff kind of hanging.
Cut.
There's a lot of tea in the cupboards, like dried leaves and dried petals, marigold
weird, is
petals and blackberry leaf tea, and
That's
they
normal.
just kind of, but they just kind of sit there at the back of the cupboard, and I'd reach for a jar and think, what is this? That happens a lot in our kitchen.
So just unspecified.
Unspecified
jarred
dried stuff in a jar, and I don't, well, something that's been pickled, and it's kind of floating around in the bottom,
Yeah.
something unidentified. But you pick up a jar and there's like a scoobia or something floating on the top.
I'm feeling called out.
Yeah, there's a few things I don't pick up and think, I don't know if that's good, if it's supposed to look like that or not. I'm just going to put it away.
I think that's a typical Viking kitchen. Lots of dried, unknown things going on.
Yes, it's probably quite authentic
Yeah.
in its own way.
Yeah. What's the worst thing you've ever eaten?
Way fermented vegetables.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's taste-wise.
Yeah.
That's way fermenting.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
the
I
worst.
think it's a flavour you have to grow up with and be really familiar with. because
never
that-
tried it, yeah.
That sour bitterness, and then we put it into a stew with lots of other things to see if that would tone down, because we were trying different ways of preserving things,
Yeah.
and it didn't tone it down at all. It just made
It never
everything
worked.
taste
No?
of the fermentation. So yeah.
Yeah, the only time I've tried to ferment stuff that way, it just went mouldy on top. It never actually preserved.
No.
You didn't get it to
Yeah.
work, did you?
No.
Not properly.
Yeah.
Now we had that with the first,
Yeah.
but then we weighed it down with boiled stones,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it completely was covered. Then
Yeah.
it didn't go moldy, but the taste is so intense.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
you
It's
can't
very acidic.
water it down, or
Yeah.
anything. It's not
Yeah.
possible.
It's interesting because I want to try and make bland as well,
Mm.
and that's basically whey.
Yeah.
It's gone sour, so it must be very similar,
Yeah.
that flavour.
Yeah. It will be. Good luck. You might like it, but
Yeah,
I might like it.
But we were in agreement that that was not
Yeah.
No.
not a flavour for us.
That was an experiment. We stopped right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to answer that one?
You asked me before, what did I say before?
don't say horse. That's what we said before.
No. Probably, I don't know, some kind of mushroom. Oh, magic mushrooms. That's what I said before.
This reveals a lot. You've
Must
just
have
come
been
out to the world.
We must have been about 19, 20. We did these magic mushrooms a couple of times, and I hate mushrooms. And I would normally just not eat them. But obviously, because someone had given them to me and we bought them. And we had all this advice from people that done it before, like, oh, make a pizza or make tea or fry them on toast. And it was just horrible. It was always horrible because mushrooms are horrible all of the time.
But the result.
But that was the only time I actually bothered to try and eat it. Normally I would just go, no, I don't want to eat it. But I just, yeah, I ate it. And they were still horrible.
And it wasn't just once, I might add. I'm getting us in more trouble.
Yeah,
They were
I've
good
tasted
fun.
it
They
at
were a
least
lot of
3
fun.
times.
There was a lot of fun, but they don't taste good. They just don't.
This extra of the podcast is
Mushrooms
going
are
to
not food.
be... So, sorry guys, you missed that bit.
They're good fun, but they're not food.
Okay. What's the most memorable meal you've ever had?
I gotta say that that summer when Wilven was cooking her special favorites, favorite dishes, I would say sheep testicles
Really?
is
Well,
probably the most memorable because it's a thought that it's horrible,
yeah.
but it actually tastes good. What about you?
You see, I thought it was going to be your favourite thing, so mine's a little different. And my
No, it doesn't have to be memorable.
My favourite thing that we made was chicken pie.
Yeah.
On the fire.
That is good.
I actually made pie with crust and everything on the fire.
Wow.
And this was in, and I don't know if pie crust is something they would have bothered with, but it
Yeah.
was it was in February, and so it was really cold,
Yeah.
and it tasted amazing,
Yeah.
and it was warm, and yeah, that was just the best thing ever that I've made on a fire. Yeah. We have to have a pause because there's a chicken invading. In fact, several chickens
I
invading.
mean, we started with wasps, then chickens.
The doorkeeper is not very
Are
good.
we going to be attacked by animals and insects?
Yep.
Yeah.
And flies, because we do have flies.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do that one as well?
Most
Memorable meal.
Do you remember the lobster bisque in Iceland?
No.
We booked a tour.
Not very memorable.
We booked a tour of a small
And a
section of
rooster.
coastline, and we got there, and it was just a guy
Oh
on a
yes.
bus
Sorry, I do remember. Yeah.
who did it like as a part-time job. He was a tour guide because he had a bus.
Yeah.
He had like a van basically, and he drove a few of us around a small section of coastline
Same place we
And he
had
took us-
fermented shark.
No,
to his
yeah.
favourite cafe,
Yeah.
which was just a really small shack, and it was peeing it down with rain. And we
I think
went
it was
in
more
there.
for workers too. It was like on the docks.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
for tourists. It was
Yeah.
like for shipyard guys at this tiny place, and it was the most delicious thing I think I've ever eaten.
I think my favourite food.
We're not doing favourite food.
Uh,
Most memorable.
Can I guess? I think it's candy.
What's most
Chocolate.
memorable? What do you remember
What's
the
the
best?
best?
Yeah.
What's the most memorable meal?
I got a few. So I got Chinese, Chinese and fish and chips and pizza.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like just a list of
I mean,
favourites.
she's making us look bad now.
Yeah.
She doesn't just eat Chinese and fish and chips and pizza.
She eats Viking
She
age
gets
Chinese
proper
fish and chips and pizza.
That's so nice.
Go back to the questions now, okay?
Mhm. Can I do some questions?
Are you going to get questions when we do your episode? We've got to do all these. You've got your own episode.
Yeah.
You're taking over this podcast. All right, so very last question is, you've died and your family and friends are preparing your grave goods. What food and drink are you taking to the feast in Valhalla?
Chicken pie.
Chicken pie? Washed down with?
Washed down with some of that meal. It was very good,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very nice. that
It's
one.
normally too sweet for me, but that one was really nice.
Mm.
But I would also add I want a battle spoon. Because my spoons are not big enough and I have spoon envy
Yeah.
of a lady online I saw with like a 5-foot spoon and I need a battle spoon.
There's some
to
pretty
trip
big
all
ones
the-
the German guy
That's
has.
not big
they're
enough.
not quite big
No.
enough, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I have to keep looking.
No, I would actually say horse jerky and a bottle of rum.
horse jerky, there's another one for me to try.
I have we
that's
have a friend of ours who does traveling Vikings
Yeah?
with horses and stuff, and she one year she dried horse meat here at the center, and we
really
tried that.
good.
That was amazingly good.
Yeah?
So I think actually that would be as a travel food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be my travel food to Valhalla.
Mm.
It's just a really nice peaty whiskey
Yeah?
and a Chinese takeaway menu.
Just the menu?
Just the menu. I can call up on the afterlife.
Wow.
You're going to haunt the Chinese restaurant.
There's a theme here between you and Ocean.
It's really bad, sorry.
Fits.
They love my food, really.
We do.
Even though whenever we get home after an event, it's Chinese.
Chinese.
All right,
Yeah.
well, thank you again for coming on
You're welcome.
and for making us welcome in Denmark. It's been a lot of fun.
Sorry, we couldn't
Where
arrange better
I'm
weather.
trying to tip.
I thought this was to make us feel at home.
Yeah, it's proper Nordic weather, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
it's like being at home. Lots of wind, lots of rain. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Bye.
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 If you enjoyed the show and want to hear more, remember to like and subscribe and give the show a rating. You can also help keep the show going by becoming a Patreon, where you'll get early access to all episodes. Or check out my range of merch on my store. Links are in the episode description. Thanks for watching.